More 2-Minute Drill is coming up next, but first, check out this Entrepreneur Showcase with Adam Rosen, co-founder and CEO of Email Outreach Company. Adam Rosen is the co-founder and CEO of an innovative email outreach company where he helps businesses optimize their outbound email strategies to drive growth and increase engagement. As a mentor and advocate for entrepreneurs, he shares insights on sales, email marketing, and leadership, earning recognition as a thought leader in the industry.
Welcome to 2-Minute Drill. I'm David Meltzer, and it's time for the Entrepreneur Showcase on 2-Minute Drill. I have an incredible entrepreneur. His name is Adam Rosen. He is the co-founder and CEO of Email Outreach Company, a critical component of my business and should be of yours. Welcome to 2-Minute Drill, Adam.
Dave, thanks for having me.
Well, I had to have you because people don't get it. I just have to admit, I teach every day there's 4 ways to get business, and if you're not utilizing these 4 things, these 4 ways to get business, then you're missing at least 25% of your business opportunities, options, and touches of favor. But I think one of the 4 stands out today and doesn't get enough attention. In person, on the phone, social and traditional media, and email. And obviously, Email Outreach Company deals in my prioritized reach, which is email. It is the major repository of the data and connectivity that I want with my audience, and it entails both prospecting and managing and developing my database. And it is agnostic to technological change because email, just like voice, is here to stay. Voice is difficult in order to acquire data. Email is everywhere and everyone uses it and will continue to use it. Why do you think, as the expert of email outreach, someone that I use and has exponentially grown my business and many other large companies' businesses, why do you think people ignore email today?
Well, the biggest question I get today in 2024 is cold email dead? And the reality is cold email doesn't work if you don't know what you're doing. And
Right.
Cold email has gotten a heck of a lot more complicated in 2024 than it was in 2023, and certainly than it was in 2017. And it's only going to get more complicated. But what I have seen and what we see is that cold email not only can work, but it should be working for you. But the truth of the matter is you have to do A through Z correctly now. And if you don't do that, then you won't see the results. And like you said, we all use email. I don't care if you're an intern getting started at a job or if you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Like, we've booked meetings with, Ajay Banga, the former CEO of MasterCard, and he got on multiple phone calls with us from a cold email. Cold email can reach the top of the top, but you have to do it effectively. If you don't do it right, you're not going to get results from it.
And so what are some of the capabilities that distinguish you of doing email outreach correctly with the great success that you've had, and you have, including me, gotten my attention via my email, and probably very few people on earth get as many emails that they personally look at, but yet you continue to provide success not only for me, but for my clients, my friends that all come back to me and say, why didn't I do this sooner? I thought email was dead.
Well, you have to be a true student of the game. And that goes with anything. I don't care if you're a professional athlete. I don't care if you are starting a tech company, a marketing agency, whatever it is. If you're not a true student of the game, you're going to be like everybody else. You're going to be the average of it. So for us, we've been true students of the game since we started with our first tech startup. Cold email was how we raised money. Cold email was how we got most of our customers, many large Fortune 500s. Cold email is even how we found the company that ended up buying mine. Cold email is a lot of the reason why I've been on over 100 podcasts, some top podcasts like yours, Dave. Cold email can work, but you need to do it effectively, and you have to know what to do. And I think a lot of people take email for granted because we all use email every day. So we think, oh, I know how to do this. This can't be that complicated. But if you don't do things like building your infrastructure properly, if you don't know what subject lines are going to work best, if you don't know how to write good copy, if you don't know how to follow up effectively, if you don't know how to build the systems behind everything, then you're not going to see results through cold email. And just like you're not going to see results through any marketing medium that you take, you have to be a true student of the game. And, of course, I'm biased, but I think that's exactly what we are.
Well, and I'm biased as well, not only towards Email Outreach Company and you personally, Adam Rosen, but I'm biased to the word student. I'm a student of my calendar. I believe you mentioned studying, that the definition of studying is paying attention to, but giving intention to what we do, say, think, feel, and believe in the communication of email. Beyond intention, though, it is inherent and necessary to be engaged and accessible in the studying process. And you as a company and you personally are extremely engaged in order to learn from the processes and improve upon the processes that you've created in order to effectuate the statistical success in a more complex and challenging form of communication, but yet most valuable form. As far as you talk about getting to the top and converting the top and having a strong ROI. Studying's important. I call it testing and going. I tell my head of my media department, look, I don't care what they say. Tell them that they just need to guarantee that they're going to be engaged and accessible, because I know their reputation already, and if they stay engaged, they're going to learn exactly what's particular to me and customize a program that has a quantifiable result. How have you been able to maintain that engagement and accessibility for your clients that allow you to study and learn?
Well, I was just talking about it backstage. When we first started the company, the first year, I was one personally in every single one of our customers' inboxes responding to every single email, because I think it's so important that you feel every groove of the process.
Right.
Especially when you're getting started. But as you scale, and we've been fortunate, especially over the last year, 12 to 18 months, we've been able to scale. And part of the ability to scale, it removes me from as much of the day-to-day, removes me from a lot of the weeds work. However, I need to stay in understanding the weeds work so that I can see what is actually happening, boots on the ground. And one of the problems I think, I've been guilty of in the past is staying too high level and letting my team do too much of the weeds work without me understanding what is going on. And now, am I responding to every email? No. Do I see every email that comes through? No. But we do have reporting metrics, whether it's with my co-founder and his side of the house, teaching me about what they're seeing. What are the metrics? How many positive replies are we getting per 1,000? What are the, how many emails does it take to get a meeting booked? What industries are most receptive? What emails are hitting best? What lead magnets are hitting best? I need to understand what's happening at the ground floor, because if not, then I don't know how to grow the company effectively. I don't know how to scale the company effectively. I don't know what's going to happen 2, 3, 4 steps down the line. So as we've grown, it's still important for me to understand what is happening on the ground floor, because if not, I can't strategize for what we need to do in the future.
It's interesting that you use the word feel, because I have a feel for my email. I have a feel when we put something out, and because there's so many variables involved. The total addressable community is so large that we have to actually be engaged every day in order to feel, hey, I don't think that's working, because the responses aren't all, yeah, I want to move forward. And so the feeling is derived from all responses. And it allows us to improve upon the communication. As you said, copy is important, subject line is important, as well as understanding the community that you're addressing is important. And if you're addressing 19-year-old life coaches when you're trying to reach 56-year-old C-level executives, you're going to have a real disconnect no matter how beautiful and eloquent the process is and how strategic it is. How do you get that alignment today and that feeling? Do you coach the clients themselves for what to look for, or are there other mechanisms or modalities that you're utilizing?
I think email is one of the best ways to do market development, because to your point, Dave, you get to hear what are people saying in an unfiltered way too. Like an email, people will be very honest, good, bad,
Brave.
Or ugly. Exactly. They'll say things where you would probably never hear someone use words like this via in person, but in email, they're a lot more brave, to your point, of sharing that, which is amazing, because you get to hear, like, really what are people saying. Now, with our early stage customers, for them, they're figuring out who is their ICP, who is their ideal customer. And that might take a little more work. And you might be having to navigate through how many replies are we getting? What are people saying? Is it more or less positive replies than typical? Is it more negatives? Are we getting more people saying, hey, this isn't relevant to my role. Why are you emailing me? Or are we getting people that are saying, hey, I actually just bought something like this. Now might not be the right fit. Or, wow, we were just talking about this in a board meeting. Let's discuss this. So for earlier stage customers, earlier stage startups we work with, they they have a lot more massaging to do when it comes to their ICP. For our further along companies, for our Fortune 500s we work with, they have a crystal clear idea. Here's the exact people we have to go after, and then we can go after them like that. But when it comes to emailing, it's such a great way to do market development. Like for us, we always talk about 3 key pillars to doing emailing. One, you have to get deliverability market fit. And deliverability market fit is more complicated than ever because of the infrastructure that's required to end up in the inbox and stay out of spam. Then you have to look at copy market fit. What is the type of copy that's going to resonate with your audience? And now you have to get very in-depth when it comes to copy. Doesn't mean you have to send a long email, but you have to leverage some of the pretty complex AI tools out there that will allow you to send highly personalized emails, or emails that feel highly personalized, but do it at scale. Because if you're only sending one by one, you're just not going to get results. And then the third measure is around list market fit. Who is your ideal customer? You know, one of my favorite quotes is, you can't hit what you can't see. So if you don't know who your ideal customer is, you're going to be reaching out to someone, you're going to take a full shotgun approach. So you want to get narrow with your list and then learn, is this my right customer, or do I need to pivot and go somewhere else?
Yeah, it's so interesting how much information is available in email from the discourse, including the negative. You know, I love getting an email that says stop or unsubscribe, or something that's very resistant based, because if you weren't resonating with them, even though it's manifesting itself in a negative, you wouldn't have an opportunity to re-engineer, right? We always say the easiest people to sell are the people that tell you, I'm not buying, or they tell you to stop. And to be able to have extra communication beyond someone actually just unfollowing you or posting a negative comment. It provides you email a communication and a learning and a re-engineering of a shared vision that is not affordable other than in person, but it scales. You can't reach 100,000 people in person, even if you're on stage and you have 100,000 people like last night at SoFi, you're not reaching them and communicating with them. Email, you actually are. And there's a variety of lessons to be learned. Real quick, what's the #1 piece of advice that you give people that call, that, you know, we're able to stimulate interest and say, look, I need an email outreach company. I want to go ahead and facilitate a quantitative value of building my community and business, but I'm not sure it's for me. What's the answer to that question?
If you're not sure it's for you, all you have to think about is, can I get emails from my potential customer base? If the answer is yes, you should be leveraging cold email. Whether you're working with a firm like mine or trying it on your own, cold email can be the X factor for just about any business. Like, even if you have a cupcake shop on Main Street, you should be leveraging email. Email can work for any business, and what's exciting is, like, look, we all get a lot of emails around, hey, I could do SEO work for you, or I could do web development work for you. But I'm always very interested in more of those like blue ocean businesses where there typically isn't emailing going on in their business, because that can open you up to a whole nother market. Like, we're working with this really interesting real estate firm in the Smoky Mountains, I should say. And what she was really excited to me, their owner, is she's like, no one in our business is doing emailing. Everyone is doing snail mail. And she's like, this is a really exciting opportunity so that we can stand out. So really, for anybody listening, if you can get an email list for your potential customer base, which almost always the case is yes, you can, you should be leveraging cold email, because for me, I've always found it's one of the most efficient and, of course, effective ways to grow your customer base and to get a lot of rapid feedback, to your point, Dave, from your ideal customers.
And if you want to test it out like I did to see the significance of email and whether or not I wanted to work with Adam Rosen, work with the email outreach company, I just started replying to the emails that were coming in, even cold emails, and seeing what responses I got and how quickly I got a response and how engaged the responses were and how much business I could derive by simply replying to a cold email. So imagine being able to curate with a professional, an expert, a student of email. That's what I do with the amazing email outreach company and the amazing Adam Rosen, CEO, co-founder of Email Outreach Company. Thank you for joining me on the Entrepreneur Showcase here on 2 Minute Drill.